Apple Gift Card is a practical gift that unlocks a world of entertainment and fun. You can send it via email or give a physical card to your loved ones. Your friends and family can spend it on their favorite Apple services, including Apple subscriptions. Apple Gift Card can be used to buy all things Apple: products, accessories, apps, games, movies, TV shows, iCloud Plus, and more. Visit apple.com for details and to send Apple Gift Cards to your friends and family this holiday season.
Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, just like yesterday's episode, we'll be talking about Kanye West. Now, here's the thing. I've been a fan of Kanye since I was a kid. You know, I think I did mention that in the last episode, how one of my favorite songs from, there's like a lot of songs that I like from Kanye's. And I just don't know why. Like, I don't know if this was, I guess I never really followed his whole promotion thing, but it does come off as if he's like, every time when I release an album, I gotta go out and do some wild stuff. Because just like with not these last two gospel albums, but I think he was like acting out, or like he was like wilding out or something like that. And I think it was like a orange one. I can't even think of the name of it, but it had the one song on there, Ultralight Beam. Hold on, let me see if I can find. But it was a good album. It was a really good album, but I personally just don't understand, like, what is it? The Life of Pablo. That's what that album was called. But dang, that album came out 4 years ago? Wow. Oh, no, it was Yay. That's what it was. It was this album called Yay, and it was like this, the cover art of it was, I think he lives out like in a ranch in Wyoming or something. And, but yeah, it was all like the album cover. It was like, I hate being bipolar. It's awesome. Yeah, he's, and it's funny that he has that on his album cover. And just maybe some point in time yesterday, Kim Kardashian, it was like some point in time last night, Kim Kardashian came out in the post saying that, yeah, Kanye is like very bipolar and he was having just a very, very bad episode. I'm saying like some of the things that he was talking about last night, because last night he came out and all these different tweets that just wasn't adding up or wasn't making any sense, and it was like random tweets that just didn't seem like that they belonged on his Twitter account. It just seemed like that they didn't, like, there was no legitimate reason for any of this stuff to come out. But he accused Kim Kardashian of having a relationship with the rapper Meek Mill. Now, here's the thing. Even though that came from Kanye, and Kanye knows Kim Kardashian better than any of us, I highly doubt that Kim Kardashian had a relationship with Meek Mill. That's some stuff that you can look at her and you can look at Meek Mill and you can know that there could have been nothing going on between the two. And I guess Kanye was saying that when they were talking about like freeing prisoners and stuff, like I guess she acted inappropriate towards him. And I'm like, I don't know how. Maybe she cracked a joke and Kanye didn't understand the joke, or he didn't like the joke. But I highly doubt that there's anything going on between Meek Mill and Kim Kardashian. No. That's something that I just don't believe. But yeah, he accused her of that. And then he went as far as to calling her mom, Kris Jenner. He called her Kris Jong-un, referring to her as the North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un. He called her Kris Jong-un. Now, here's the thing. Many people will find like these episodes funny and stuff. I know people that deals with bipolar. I would have to say that I have some sort of anger issues myself, but I don't know. I can't necessarily speak on anybody, so I ain't gonna say where it came from, but I can say that I have some sort of anger issues myself. Not as strong as Kanye's, but I guess I can put myself in his shoes and like see it from his point of view. But one thing that I definitely would see is that I need help. And I don't know if he has seen that within himself, but He has to see that. Like, if I come off as being insensitive or rude throughout this episode, I would like to apologize right now. But I just think this whole acting out stuff, like this whole like, oh, I gotta like go on Twitter and run for president and do all these other things. It's just to just cut straight to it. It's dumb. It's very, very dumb. And my thing is that I don't want, if I was in Kanye's shoes, because my thing is, you're Kanye West. You're one of the biggest music entertainers in the world. Like, everybody knows you, or they at least have heard of one of your songs before. But I am pretty sure that everybody in this world, they know who Kanye West is. So for you to go out in public and carry on like this, and then for you to carry on the way that you're carrying on Twitter, is dumb. It's stupid. It's stuff like that where I'm all like, bro, you are a grown man. You should not be acting like this. And I understand he's dealing with some stuff. I understand he's dealing with bipolar and all of that. But I'm saying, like, if it, and I'm not trying to blame his family, but I definitely would have, instead of like coming out in like public statements on Instagram and stuff, no, if I was any of those guys, I would have flown down to Wyoming or wherever he's at, and I would have confronted him and said, you need to calm down. You need help. Like, I probably would have had somebody crying. Because it's that type of stuff. I'm like, you should not be carrying on like this. And you know that something's wrong with you. And I don't know why it has to take multiple people, including your own fans, to tell you you need help. Like, you need help. You need a lot of it. Because I don't know. And here's the thing. I guess I can kind of see why he could possibly be acting out. But my thing is like, why carry on like this? You know, because, and the reason why I think that he's acting out, and sorry to get a little deep in depth with this whole situation, you know, I feel like that it's not in my place to bring up something like this. But I personally believe the reason that he is acting out is because his mom had passed away a few years ago. Now, I think I can speak for a lot of people, especially if you're close to any of your parents or anybody, that if you lose somebody that you are really, really close to, you will like suffer from it a little bit. Like, it was a while ago, I had a dream that one of my, like, a good friend of mine's, a very, very good friend of mine's, is actually Priscilla from Four Souls, the YouTube channel. I had a dream that something that had happened to her. That was like a very, very traumatizing dream. Like, I woke up in fear because it was something where it's like, you don't think of it until it actually happens. Like, I was sad yesterday because my grandfather had passed away 4 years ago, but he's had this dog ever since I was like in elementary school. Like, he's had the dog for a while, but he passed away 4 years ago. And then yesterday, my mom had told me my sister had told my mom, and I guess my sister must have heard it through my dad, that the dog had passed away yesterday. And this was a dog that I grew up with. Like, this was a dog where I was like, to me, that was like one of the first pets that I kind of like, technically, in a way, it was like a part of the family, but that was like one of the first like pets in my life. And actually, you know what? No, that was the first pet in my life. To sit down and think about it, I can't remember any other, but like besides of my own, but like as a collective, as a family, like, yeah, that was like the first family pet. That was the pet that everybody in the family knew, because if you seen my granddad, you definitely seen that dog. But I felt a certain way. Yesterday when my mom told me that the dog had passed away, I did feel a certain way about it. And it was something that I was like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want it to be like, like it happened. At the time being, it was like, yeah, it was like kind of like, I don't really want to like hear some stuff like that. But now it's like, now I'm like cool about it. Now I'm like, like I'm mentioning it and I'm talking about it right now. And I think that's like one thing to definitely do when you are dealing with stuff, is that you have to talk about things. You can't just let stuff like be bottled up. And I felt like that maybe if he had the right people in his life at the time of his mom's passing, he definitely wouldn't have been in the situation that he's in today. If that is the reason why he is acting out today, is because of his mom's passing, he did not have the right people in his life. And that's what I'm like, you need to have the right people in your life. You need to have the people that will sit down and if there will be nobody to sit down and listen to you, tell that stuff, like speak it just out loud. If you got like do what I'm doing right now, I'm not necessarily saying you got to come out in the podcast or do a YouTube video or any, but like write it down anonymously somewhere. Like write it, get like a journal and just like let that stuff out. Let out your true feelings. I feel like you talking about it, it can be like kind of like a simulation of like thinking about it in your head and stuff. But at the same time, I personally feel like then rather than having it built up in your head, I feel like that you have a tendency, like people that just allows things that just build up in their head, they overthink. That's something that I face every single day. There's things that I would see, things I would do, things I would hear about, all of these different things that would enter my life, and I'll get to thinking about it, and then you overthink. Overthinking is probably the main problem with people, is that we overthink too much. There's never a time where we could just sit down, think about something, and carry on with their lives. Like, there's stuff that haunts me from when I was a kid, and I overthink about it, and I'm just all like, dang, what should I do? Like, should I do this or should I do? And it, like, there's at times where I sit down and I think about it, and I'm just like, and I had to start telling myself that, because it started to annoy me, like, the whole overthinking stuff. Like, it got to a point where I was all like, you know what? No, I need to tell myself, like, hey, you're overthinking, chill out. Like, move on. Play some video games, listen to some music, do some YouTube videos, make some music, do something where it's going to overall take your mind off of things. And that's another thing that can help you too, is just keeping yourself busy. And I feel like that Kanye, he was keeping himself busy, and he was heading down the right path. He came out with these gospel albums, and that was like something that, you don't really think about it, but then when it happens, you're like, oh wow. It's just like what I was just talking about, with death and things. But when he was coming out with those gospel albums and then the Yeezy shoes, and then he did this deal with Gap, I was like, bro's living it right now. He's living it. And then on top of that, it came out that he was like worth $1 billion. I was like, oh yeah, he is living it right now. Kanye, I would love to be in his shoes right now. But then he started acting out. And that's what I'm like, that's sometimes like, that does happen to people, where there's things that affected you before in your life and you still think about it till this day, but you can't let it succeed you. You can't you can't go about it where it's like, oh, now this is like the main thing that I gotta think about. This is the main thing I gotta do. I gotta act out because of this thing that happened to me before in the past. Like, I can't relate to him on the mom thing, but I know I'd definitely be out of it. It's like, to put myself in his shoes, I definitely would be out of it. But I wouldn't want to affect other people that's close around me. I would expect those people to sit down and hear what I have to say and give me advice and, be there for me, talk to me and stuff. And I personally feel like that he didn't have those people in his life. And I remember when it was like in the beginning of the quarantine, I was dealing with some stuff, and I had people to talk to. There was people that was sitting down and hearing what I had to say. And now I feel much better. Why? Because you need to have the right people in your life. You cannot hold this stuff in, and then it ends up like affecting you in the long run. And that's one thing where I have to say, it's like, you have kids, bro. Like, you have kids. And I know that if I was acting like him, I would not want my kids to see that. And I don't know, maybe that's why he like ditched the spot and he ran out somewhere and he's hanging out with Dave Chappelle and all. I'm like, bro, Dave Chappelle ain't got nothing to do with this. Why he called up Dave Chappelle? Or I think Dave Chappelle like checked on him and stuff. And I'm like, look, you forget about Dave Chappelle cracking jokes, because there's this video that's going around where he's all like, oh, Dave Chappelle like say something funny in like good spirits or something. And I'm like, look, I'm not here for all that. We need to talk about you right now. That's what we need to talk about. I'm not here for jokes. I'm not Dave Chappelle. I am a friend trying to help you. Like, I don't care if I see a friend of mine's dealing, if you can ask any of my friends that I've been there for, I'm like, I'm not there I'll crack jokes to like put you in like good spirits. Like, if I see that you're down, I will say some like funny things or do some funny things and stuff. But I feel like in Kanye's situation, no, he needs some people to like sit down and talk with him, because right now, this is like, this might come off as being insensitive or being rude, but he's acting like a child. He is acting like a child. When I seen the tweets that he was making last night, it looked like it was either a child or that he got hacked. And I'm like, bro, why are you talking about this? What is the reason for this? Like, you're coming out with an album this Friday. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's coming out with an album. I was about to say a Friday, this album, but he's coming out with an album this Friday. Now, you should be focused on that. You should be focused on that and your family. Worried about what they, because my thing is like, I could be dealing with the worst of the worst stuff in my life. I could be facing the worst of the worst problems, all of that. But if I had a family, wife, kids, that's the only thing that's on my mind right now. I could deal with whatever I'm dealing with. You know, I just have to like cross that bridge when I can. But when they're dealing with something, I have to be there for them. I have to be there for them. Even in the whole, like, even in like the worst of the worst situations of my life, I am still there for people. There's people that I'm like, I was thinking about stuff that was affecting me in life, but I was still being there for people. If people came to me and they was all like, they needed some advice, they needed some help with some things, they just need somebody to talk to or to hear them out, I was there. I was always there. There's like, I'm telling you, I'm like, I feel like there's like a lot of coworkers at my job where their problems, I was just like, you know, I was like, I wouldn't say I was there, but I was there to listen. And that's something where I'm like, you know, they need somebody to talk to, friends that I went to school with. There's stuff that they dealt with, I was there for them. And it's like, you know, if they still face those problems to this day, I'm like, guess who's going to still be there? Me. I'm like, I'm just like, I'm not going to allow people to suffer. And so I will hope that crosses his mind. It's like, what do you think your kids are thinking right now? What do you think that your wife is thinking, or your mother-in-law, or your brother-in-law, sister-in-law, sisters-in-law? I'm saying, like, you have a lot of people that's surrounding you right now. I'm like, just take the time to think about how they feel. Because I'm saying, like, he could be dealing with that, and people think, like, it's the worst of the worst situation, but how do you think your other, like, because I'm positive, I am 100% sure that everybody in the family, the whole Kardashian Jenner family, the West family, everybody, they would be devastated if something were to happen to Kanye. And they started bringing up the one YouTuber, Etika. For those that don't know Etika was this YouTuber last year that tragically took his life. And it was a very, very sad situation. It was something where I didn't even know Etika like that. I think I might have seen and heard of him like a couple of times prior before his death. But it was something that stuck out for me. It was something where it was like, that's, you know, it shouldn't have went down like that. You know, it's messed up that this is a very, very young man. And that's same with Kanye. He's a young man. And the fact that you have to deal with stuff like that, and then people, you know, they're just trying to, like, and that's where it's like, you know, you guys like kind of go off on like the media and quote unquote fans, and you know, people that's like following Kanye and stuff. Like, if you're not there to help him, you should not be there at all. You should not be there at all. So that goes out to TMZ, fake fans, any of that stuff. Like, if you are not there to help a person in a time of need, you shouldn't be there for no jokes, no memes, no none of that. Because when I seen this situation, when it all started going down, before, I would laugh at it, I would crack jokes on it. You know, I remember I think I made like, yeah, some memes about it and stuff. But now I just feel like that, yo, like, I guess like the more situations that I've dealt with in life, and I have to say that that's like for a young-minded like audience member where they haven't dealt with a lot of things in life, so therefore Kanye, his situation, it's just gonna be laugh, jokes, and memes for them. But with somebody like myself, where it's like you have dealt with a lot of things in life, there has been stuff that's gotten to your head. You know, you see the situation differently. You see the situation where it's like, I know in my situations, I wouldn't want nobody cracking jokes and making memes about me. So that's why I'm like, when I see his situation, I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that at all. I can't make no jokes. I can't make no memes. I can't do none of that. So at the start of this, like a few days ago where he was like out crying and all that stuff in 2020 across his head and things, like, at first I found it funny, but then I sat down and I started thinking about it. I'm like, yo, this ain't funny anymore. Like, this shouldn't have never been funny. You know, him acting out in front of paparazzis, him acting, you know, like, I see it and I'm just like, this ain't funny anymore. Like, it gets to a point in time where it's like, yo, this has to stop. Like this seriously, this has to like stop. Like media and from Kanye. This is a thing where it's like both parties just have to stop so everything's like between the two can go back to normal. You know, and I know that that's media's job, TMZ, Insider, all that stuff. It's their job to follow Kim and Kanye and all of that. But it should come to a point in time where you're like, I know I wouldn't want nobody chasing me down with cameras and tweeting me and trying to call me in for interviews and stuff. You will want people to be there and help you out. And that's why I was like, and I remember when Kanye, when he went to, I think it was like the TMZ headquarters or something like that, and he went in there and he started going off about liposuction and all this other extra stuff. How come there was nobody there to like sit down and talk with them? How come there wasn't nobody trying to like grab the man and be like, hey, like, what's going on? You know, what's happening? You know, like that's you. It's obvious that you need somebody to talk to. So what's happening right now? Like, you know, talk to me. I'm here. None of these guys ain't gonna, you know, this is just them just writing down material for their next like article about you and stuff. But no, like sit down. I would have pulled them outside and been like, yo, what's going on? Like talk to me. Like none of this extra, like, you know, you doing this stuff for show. Like what is currently like embedded in your mind? What is the root of all of this that's going on right now? What is the root of it all? And if he were to say it's because of my mom, I'm like, look, your mom would not want you to act like this. Nobody wants you to act like this. And I will hope that this, you know, this most likely won't go viral. Kanye will most likely never hear this, and it's okay. But if he never does hear this, I want people that's in a similar situation as him to listen to this. The people that you lost in life that have made you act out and act crazy, they would not want you to carry on like this. They will want you to be a much more bigger and better person. They don't want you to act out on Twitter. They don't want you to act out on social media. They don't want you to act out in public. They want you to do what you love doing and have fun. This is not having fun. This is like, and my thing is like, if he is doing this like for attention, like that's the root of it all. He just wants attention. Bro, attention ain't going to get you through life. It won't. It's going to, yeah, it's like your life will progress on, but attention, it's not going to be because of that. It's going to be because time is going to progress on your life. Attention is just going to be like a little sideshow. So that's why I'm like, bro, you doing this for attention? No. Find something else. Do something else. If you gotta retire and come back when you feel like that you're ready, do that. But don't be in the public eye giving people like all of this like material and things to like write on you and stuff. And it's like, and it's not like any of this like money or any of this like stuff is going to, it's just making more money for like TMZ and all these other like insider entertainment, like media outlet stuff. Like this nothing ain't happening for Kanye. So that's it's like, yeah, somebody definitely needs to talk to him. Whether it's Kim, Chris, Kylie, Kendall, any of them Jenners or Kardashians. What about the one guy? Because I remember Robert Kardashian, not the father, the son, because he's named after the father and stuff. Because I remember he was dealing with some things. I'm like, where is he at? Like, I feel like he should, I can't really compare their situations together because he was dealing with some stuff. I'll never forget when it came out like he came out in the video and he showed his house and it was empty, and then the one girl, what's her name, Black China, she took his kid and all of his belongings. I'm like, wow, that's some scammy stuff right there. That's some straight up just scammy stuff. I'm like, people like that, you just gotta like keep them out of your life. And I'm like, if that's the case, I'm like, or if that's what Kanye, where it's like he just has the wrong people in his life still, and I'm like, yeah, that should be an eye opener. You shouldn't be having like the wrong people in your life. You should definitely, it should come to a point in time where you're just all like, okay, I gotta drop these guys. And if it's the Kardashians, do what you gotta do and things. But if it's not them and it's you, then I'm like, bro, you gotta like, he needs help. He needs to go to like a rehab center, or he needs to go somewhere where it's like, it's going to help him out in the long run, and it ain't something where people are just making money off of him and stuff. Cause I know I wouldn't want to be in his shoes, and people are there like making all this money off of me and stuff. So that's why I'm like, yeah, you gotta, you gotta like clear this stuff up. You gotta like get it all out your system, and then when this like, I have to say that this needs to be the last time he deals with all this stuff. Knowing it ain't gonna be the last time, but it needs to be like talking to him or talking to anybody that's dealt with a situation like his, and you've acted out before or whenever. The last time needs to be the last time. You don't need to act out no more. This is it. This is done and over with. Like, you gotta focus on those around you that cares about you. That's the only thing that needs to be in your brain. But any other stuff, like, nah, like, you shouldn't be acting out for because your album is coming out Friday or any. Because I know there's this one rapper came out and said that he was all like, he's coming out with an album and that's the reason why he's acting out. And I'm like, if that's the case, I'm like, it's not the way, bro. There's so many things that you could possibly do to promote your album. Like, do what that one singer Ariana Grande does. Ariana Grande, that girl would literally post like 500 of the same posts saying album coming out in an hour, album coming out. Like, Kanye, I think that's what it is. It's like he just needs to, I don't know, he doesn't need to be heavily on social media, but he needs to be like on a good side of social media, if that makes sense. Like, he needs to be on the side where it's like people ain't trying to get a reaction out of him and stuff. Like, you just gotta come across the right community and things on social media. You know, you gotta have a much more stronger and loyal fan base. I feel like when you have a much more stronger and loyal fan base and you ain't got people following you just so they could get a reaction out of you and stuff, then yeah, I feel like he can have a much more successful career. And I'm like, people that do that, people that just follow individuals just to get a reaction out of them, like, stop following them. Like, just stop. Like, obviously a person is dealing with some stuff, so it's like, leave them alone. Like, it should just be as easy and simple as that. That should just be able to, like, oh, okay, like, you know, like, yeah, I should leave this person alone. It shouldn't be no arguments, no ands or nothing. Like, leave the person alone so they can, like, move on and have a much more better life. But it's like people that's just setting him up so his life cannot be good. And that's like kind of like brings me into thinking about the whole Britney Spears situation. How Britney Spears, you know, because I remember, shout out to Hot T for posting that video. But I remember watching that video, and as a kid, you know, like with Kanye, it's like you see the situation when you're like young-minded into the situation where people are dealing with stuff. And then as you get older and then you deal with more things and, you know, you get a little bit more wiser and understand stuff better, then you see the same videos that you seen when you was a kid of Britney Spears cutting her hair off, chasing down, you know, doing all this, like, she's acting out in public and things. You see it now and you're like, man, that is sad. That is truly, truly sad. So that's, I'm like, yeah, I seen that whole Britney Spears situation, and now I'm just all like, yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. I'm like, you know, even for her, I'm like, you know, I hope the best for her too. I just, in reality, yeah, at the end of the day, I just really hope the best for Kanye. I hope it comes to a point in time where it's just like this. Hopefully, this is an eye opener for him, and yeah, he just, you know, he gets better in life. But Kim, there's like, they got it trending. There's like Kim Kardashian West asked for compassion and empathy for Kanye West's new statement. Yeah, there's like coming out and the thing saying that Kim Kardashian, she's asking for a divorce. And I'm like, I don't know. She doesn't seem like that she wants to divorce Kanye. Yeah, because I'm not seeing anything. Oh, Meek Mill responded to the whole situation. But yeah, I don't know. They hadn't necessarily said anything about them getting a divorce. So I'm like, yeah, I hope that's not true and things. But anyways, let's see if Kanye made any tweets. See if I could give any like last final responses. So yeah, he just has like, he deleted the tweets where he was like asking for a divorce, accused Meek Mill of sleeping with Kim Kardashian, and then calling Kris Jenner Kris Jong-un. But yeah, last tweet on his Twitter account, or last few tweets, is promoting his album, and then it's a tweet that says the future president. And yeah, it was like after he went off on this, like, yeah, the long rant going off about a bunch of different stuff, saying people's like random names. And yeah, then he ended it off with says the future president. But yeah, I think he's since then deleted those tweets, because probably those guys called them up and was like, bro, you need to chill out and calm down, because it's you know, you just need to. So he did. Meek Mill did come out and say that he was all like, this stuff is cap, And cap means it's a lie. Like for those for those that need to understand the new age of black terminology, cap means lie. So when a person says like no cap, then they're like not lying. Like I did buy a $2 million Bugatti, but if you just but if somebody approaches you and then they're all like, oh, I bought a $2 million Bugatti and stuff, and it's somebody that was, they're working at like McDonald's or something, then it's like, then that's when you all like, that's cap, bro. That's the major cap. They're like, that's you capping right now. Like, then it's all like, yeah, you're lying. I don't know where cap came from. Like, that just, I don't know. I know people were saying like no cap for the longest, but then they switched it up. They like, it's like a new version of the terminology. It's like, then people are all like, no, that's cap, bro. That's like, that's some cap right there. I'm like, all right. I mean, you use your terminology, people. But anyways, yeah, I didn't believe that when Kanye said that, saying that she was sleeping around with that Kim Kardashian was sleeping around with Meek Mill. I'm like, that I don't believe, Kanye. That's some stuff where it's all like, well, nah, maybe you don't need video or photo proof because it wouldn't be good. And I'm like, we've already been down that road with Kim. We don't need more stuff like that from her. So, anyways, yeah. But I'll talk to you guys later, though. I just want to kind of talk a little bit more about the whole Kanye situation and kind of give off more to say about it. I felt like yesterday I didn't really talk too. I talked like a little bit about it, and I did kind of say some of the same stuff I did say in the last one in here. But yeah, I think I'm gonna hopefully I share this. Like I want to share this on social media, and then it goes viral, and then hopefully it's sent to Kanye to where it like, he understands. Or it's like if it doesn't, then hopefully it just goes out to people that's dealing with stuff. And yeah, just know that you're not alone. People have dealt with far more worse things, and they've managed to come out clean on the other side. So you have to understand, like, stuff is gonna get better for you and things, but you just don't act out and stuff. It ain't good. So, but anyways, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. And if you're purchasing tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. And that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching and or listening, and peace.